That's what works with algorithms.
Yeah.
So like, what kind of revenue are we really talking about if someone's like doing maybe their first one?
Yeah. Okay. So I want to give a low end and then a high end, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So average rates in America today is $4,500 a month to live in an assisted living home.
Per resident.
Per resident. Yep. $4,500. So depending on where you live in the country, that totally varies, but that's average rates. You're allowed to have anywhere between 6 and 16 residents in the home. So when I say single family, a lot of people think a 3-bed, 2-bath.
Right.
Yes, that's a single family, but also a 7-bed, 5-bath is also a single family. So we have to think differently when I'm saying that word, right?
Right.
So in Arizona, we're allowed to have 10 residents in a home. So our homes, other than the one we purchased, but the other two, they didn't start that way. We had to convert them to become 10-bedroom, 10-bath homes. But in that case, 4,500 times 10 seniors, 45,000 coming in gross.
So 10 bedrooms, 10 baths, so they all have their own bathrooms.
One of the homes has 9 bathrooms and one has 10. So yes.
Okay.
The more private you can do, the more you can get per
it's a
resident.
premium.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, so 45 coming in. Your expenses are pretty high because this is 24/7 for these senior medication management, 3 meals a day, 24/7 caregivers on staff, activities, food, cable, internet, everything. So let's call it.
Because each one has like their own TV and their own cable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're giving them everything and anything that they want. They're paying a heavy fee to live in the home. They should really be living out their golden years in the best way possible. So let's say 30 grand in expenses, and then your debt service or mortgage, maybe 5,000, right? In most parts of the country, you can still get a pretty nice home for 5 grand a month. That's giving you $10,000 on that home every single month, take home as the owner. That's after you've paid all your expenses, everything.
Including the caregivers.
Correct.
The utilities.
Yep.
So we're talking net.
Even vacancies, everything baked into that. Yeah, net. So that's kind of your average home. In certain states, Texas, Ohio, Illinois, you're allowed to have 16 residents in a home. And what we teach in our training is to never do average, do above average. So if 4,500 is the average, we have plenty of students all across the country who are getting $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month per resident because their homes are very luxurious.
Is that covered by the family or by the medical, by the government? Like that's a significant sum.
It is typically private pay. It's almost always the seniors using their cash, their IRAs. They sold their home and are using those funds, or their adult children are paying for it. Which is also something to consider because a lot of people are not prepared for this. The silver tsunami's coming, the baby boomers are coming, and if you don't have a plan for your loved one, that's pretty scary. Like you got to figure this out. So let's say it's a 16 or a 15 bedroom home for easy math, 7,000 times 15, that's 105,000 coming in gross. But our expenses are going to go up. Maybe they're not 30, maybe they're 50.
Yeah, it's not proportionally going up. It's going up, but not by the same ratios.
Correct, because this is a luxury home. Also, there's 5 more residents. So we need to think of more food, more care, more everything, really. So 105 minus 50, and let's say the debt service, this is a 15-bedroom home. Let's say it's 15 grand a month. That's still leaving you with $40,000 take home. So when we say one of these beats a 50-unit apartment, that's what I mean, because each apartment, you're maybe getting, a couple $100, maybe $1,000, but that's not always the take home, right?
That's gross.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it definitely beats it. We have a guy in Jersey who those are exactly his numbers. He's got 15 residents, 7 grand a month. He brings in 40 grand a month.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So this is a different model than, for example, maybe going to buy a franchise.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of my agents yesterday. One of the clients, they have a Mexican fast food chain.
Yeah.
And they make 40, 50 grand a month. I was like, wow, that's a lot of money for just like, burritos and stuff. But
it must be good burritos.
I wouldn't go that far. It's a high volume business. But this is just a different direction if you want to you can't do it at Starbucks, but if you were to do, I think like maybe Coffee Bean, you can franchise, right?
Yeah.
This would be like buying a franchise. Is there a lot of owner involvement in these, or is this like if you buy like a 7-Eleven franchise, you're pretty involved.
Yeah.
Right? Is this a situation where you're buying like a convenience store franchise, or this is a situation where you're an owner but not an operator?
Okay, so we set it up that you own and operate the real estate and the business, but you're still hiring a licensed administrator which in real estate world, we'll call that the property manager. It's a medical license that they have through the state, so they can care for the residents, they can do intake with the residents, but typically they're doing like, touring with the families. They might be in charge of filling the beds, the marketing, hiring and firing caregivers, payroll, all sorts of different stuff. They're your hands-on go-to person. So how we teach and train and how we run this is one phone call a week with that person. Of course, they can call in emergencies.
Oh, yeah.
But one set phone call a week. And then I try to only visit the homes like every other month. I don't want to be hands-on. I don't want to be working there. There are plenty of people who do this hands-on. And you absolutely can, but you also don't have to. And that's how I like to teach, to set it up as more of a pactive, right? Passive and active, but a little bit. I don't want to say it's completely passive because it's not,
Yeah. Well, it's just like having a rental.
Yeah.
It's passive, but is it?
But is it? Exactly.
Got it. Okay. So then let's say